Hello and welcome to Dark Night Healing. My name is Julie. I want to talk to you today about ghosting and no responses, ending relationships, friendships, stuff like that. The first thing we need to realize is that no one owes us anything in this world. No matter how much you might want closure on something, no matter how much you just want to know why they did what they did, no matter how much you want to reconnect after a bad time. No one owes you anything. They do not owe you an explanation for walking away. They do not owe you an answer, or they don't owe you closure. Would it be nice to have these things? Yes. But the truth of the matter is it's not owed to us. We are not owed anything. The only thing we owe is to ourselves, to be truthful and honest to ourselves. So when somebody leaves you on read or unread or doesn't respond or doesn't show up for a date, perhaps they decided that this relationship is over and they just texted you goodbye. They don't owe you an explanation for that. The time is done. You may or may not understand what it is that you did or they did or the circumstances that led up to this situation. Maybe he or she was having an affair, or perhaps that it was a friendship that at the end of it was quite abusive and caused a bit of trauma, and so they just decided that they're not going to talk to you anymore. They are at right to do that. They can walk away. They don't have to answer your texts. They don't have to answer your messages. They don't have to reply to letters or friends that come and ask them because you're doing that. They don't owe you anything. And this is something that I'm seeing a lot right now, that people are demanding to know. Well, why? Well, no. That's for you to learn for yourself, because if the situation was different, maybe it wouldn't have ended this way. You need to examine your actions and behaviors as to why maybe they decided this was the best route. It's not about them, it's about you and your responsibilities and how you handled the situation. Maybe they did try to tell you that you were not being what they expected, or you were treating them meanly. And maybe they tried to tell you, but maybe you ignored them. Maybe you blocked them and said they were the problem, and now you're trying to come back because no. Or maybe they blocked you and they're trying to come back. Or maybe they decided the divorce wasn't a good idea. It doesn't matter. No one owes anything. They owe themselves everything. Absolutely everything. So really examine why it is from your angle that happened. Maybe you will be able to see how you can change things so it doesn't happen again, if you don't want it to. But you really have to understand that they don't owe you anything. They don't owe you an explanation. They don't owe you a closure. They owe themselves everything, and they have to protect themselves and lead their path to their highest good, not to your highest good. So when paths don't align anymore, it just doesn't align anymore. As my cousin once told me, sometimes families just drift apart. I told him I didn't believe that. People just stopped working at it. But again, that's fine. He doesn't owe me anything. He doesn't owe me an explanation. He just said what he said. Families just drift apart. And so now this is the closing and we will not be moving forward. Now, because he is an older cousin of mine, he's actually my mom's first cousin, he doesn't understand that hurt me, and I don't understand why, and that maybe I'll question that, but he has that right to protect himself, to be on his path. He doesn't have to come and explain it to me. That's what life is. Did it hurt? Yes, because I grew up with this person constantly being a present in my life at every holiday, at birthdays, at Christmas. You know, it hurt. But it's life. Families just move on. People just move on. People get tired and move on. So, no response is a response. Just because you don't like it, it doesn't mean that it's not a response. It means that they're not entertaining this anymore, and they don't have to. And if you aren't willing to accept that, and you keep going through other routes, then you're the problem. We cannot push ourselves onto other people. We cannot push our ideas, our beliefs, any of that onto other people. If we could, everyone would be a Jehovah's Witness by now. So, remember, no one is under any obligation to you. If you want somebody to be your friend, then you have to treat them with respect. If you say that somebody is your family, then you have to treat them with respect as a family member. And then that could still not work. You might still not get closure. And that's where you have to work on yourself and build up yourself to not need that anymore. So this was a topic that's been coming up for me a bit lately. A lot of people asking me why. Well, the reason, there is no why, okay? It doesn't matter. The why doesn't matter. They did it. So, move on. They don't owe you nothing. And you don't owe them nothing. And it's just time to part ways. And that's okay. I hope this resonated with everybody, and I hope it reaches the people that it needs to. I do personal tarot and oracle readings. I have intention items and salves that I make personally. I also will not ask you to subscribe or like. I do not want to be part of the algorithm. My messages will reach those that they are meant to reach when the time is right. Spirit will direct them. I don't need to be part of the algorithm for that. So other than that, you all have a great day, and we'll see you next time.